What's up, guys and gals? Red Icing, back again to talk about Persona 5. Again. Today's topic focuses on the boss from the trailers. I believe I have identified him. But before I go and blurt out his name, I'd like to present evidence of how I came to this conclusion. Evidence first, then speculation. I took this scene and scanned it over multiple times, since the majority of you are not going to watch trailer footage frame by frame. But luckily there's a certain YouTuber who probably needs a social life, a girlfriend, and or a dog. Imagine a corgi named Vesemir. Shut up, dog. You're imaginary. Also, before I start, I'd like to thank Wolfcry for putting me on the right path. Thank you. Alright, now that the intro is out of the way, let's review some evidence. At first glance, the boss just looks like a four-armed demon. Research into this fact didn't help at all, so I began to break down each part of the boss physically. First important detail I noticed was the horns. Seemed like a normal part of a demon's anatomy. Well, until I noticed this part. Look at the coloration of the boss's lower torso to his legs. I immediately figured out that this is indicative of a satyr when mixed with the horns. This opened up many avenues of research, but I needed more info to peg which famous satyr this boss represented. I then moved my attention to the items in his hands. In total, there is a glass of wine, a whip, and golden silverware. After a quick search of satyr, gold, and wine, the whip is important, but I'll get back to that later. I finally got a name. Everyone, I'd like to introduce you to Silenus. Silenus was a satyr demigod who was a patron of wine. He was never without it. So how do the gold utensils factor in? Well, if you know enough mythology, you may have heard the tale of King Midas. This story revolves around a king who wished for everything he touched to turn to gold. If you ever heard the term the Midas touch or the golden touch, then you could see the parallels forming already. The point of bringing up King Midas is that Silenus was a direct factor in giving the ruler this power. Therefore, the monster may be named a hybrid between these characters. Silenus, King Milenus, or something like that. Not to just leave you with a name, I also looked into how he fits into the story. And this is where it gets really interesting. After more frame-by-frame watching, I noticed something peculiar. Well, also after someone pointed it out on a message board. Look at his wine glass. There's something in it. Rather, there is someone in it. I'll enlarge the image to help. Does this woman with platinum blonde hair seem familiar? It could be anyone, but we all know this is Anne. While some say it could just be a part of the boss fight, I disagree, because why is she naked? So time to review other trailer evidence, and BAM! This comes up. In this clip, it seems Anne has a stalker, and the MC along with Ryuji step in to help her. Who is this stalker? Well, let's review the evidence from the boss fight. Two major pieces of evidence come up in it. First is the volleyball attack, suggesting athleticism. Second, there's these two pillars displaying female gym outfits. So does this help us? While it might be easier to say that it is a perverted gym coach, further evidence disproves this. In the wind-up to the volleyball attack, we can see medals pinned to the inside of the cape. Instead of a coach, this is more likely of a star athlete. Combine this with the silverware, we can imagine a rich star athlete. Why does this matter? Well, this combines two stereotypes, the popular jock and a rich kid. Both stereotypes are often praised and usually allowed to get what they want, making the stalker personality more viable. If Anne rejected this spoiled boy, it may have damaged his psyche and led to the boss fight. How, you might ask? Well, the evidence comes from Persona 4. In the Heaven dungeon, we watch as the delivery guy transforms into a dungeon boss. Later, if you're going for a good ending, the delivery man's shadow appears on the TV, reaffirming that it wasn't his shadow that you fought, but rather a bunch of shadows taking control over his distressed mind. Everything seems to be falling into place. The bosses of Persona 5 are real people who have mental issues and allow darkness to transform them into monsters. So if this follows suit, The mob boss from the casino, the curator from the art gallery, and I don't know, the commander of the spaceport are all victims of shadow influence. Oh crap, I forgot to mention the boss in the trailer is further related to Anne since they both use whips and it conveys a theme of lust. Sorry. Well, that's all I have for now. My next video will focus on the personas of the main characters. Do you have any questions? Am I wrong in some way? Do you have theories of your own? Leave a comment down below and I will get back to you. And once again, I can't think of a closer. So, goodbye.